because a great show today, and I am going to lead again with this Michael Jordan documentary. It was the penultimate weekend of this documentary. And if I do have one complaint, by the way, it's that this puppy is only 10 episodes. I mean, it is so good, so excellent. It has, as I said off the top, it was and is the most hyped sports documentary of all time, and somehow it has not only met expectations, it has exceeded expectations. 2 more incredible episodes on Sunday night, and as I've done the last couple weeks, I'm just going to give you some immediate reaction off the top. The show ended at 11 Eastern time. It's about 11:40 Eastern as I record, so be patient with me. I'll probably ramble even more than I usually do, go in a lot of different directions, but my first and biggest takeaway was very simply this, is I do believe that Michael Jordan taught America a very important lesson on Sunday night. And that lesson is there's a price to pay for greatness. There's a price to pay for excellence. Not everybody has to be nice. Not everybody has to be smiles and rainbows and sunshine all the time. Life is hard. Greatness is hard. And I thought MJ taught us that on Sunday night. And listen, you guys know me. I'm not one of these guys that, everything was so much better back in the day and this was great and that was great. Listen, there's a lot of things that happened 20 years ago that aren't as awesome as now. I mean, even the NBA, as much as I love the NBA now, or I have recently, and as much as I loved it back then, if you're watching closely this Michael Jordan documentary, there are a lot of big games in the NBA Finals or the Eastern Conference Finals that end with an 84-82 final score or a 79-77 final score. And so I only say that I am not the type of person that comes on this podcast and talks about, it was so great back in the day. Everything was so much better than it is now. Life sucks. No, life is awesome. There is literally a listener of this show, I won't say his name, but he and I kind of talk off air sometimes. And we were talking the other day, all these people complaining about whatever. There's never been a better time to live than right now, as we currently live with the technology that we have, with the medicine that we have. And so I'm not the type of person to say, things are so much better. But I do think that we as a society have to a degree gotten soft, right? We live in this world where we always want to talk about our emotions and, oh my God, we can't be too hard on other people and we have to treat everybody with respect and we have to be nice and we can't raise our voice and we can't say anything mean and we can't say a swear word because someone might hear it and they get their feelings hurt. And again, I understand that things evolve, that people evolve, and there's nothing fundamentally wrong with that. But I do think we as a society are too soft sometimes. And I do think the way that we are raising our children, I'm not a parent, so I'm not coming on here to say that I know more than the parents listening to this show, but I think we're raising young people to be too soft. I'm in my mid-30s. Guess what? Things have been really tough for me, just like it's been really tough for all of you. You've had bad days. You've lost loved ones. You've lost jobs. I mean, listen, I'll be honest. The reason I'm doing this podcast right now, I was working at a website called foxsports.com, and I got laid off. I didn't do anything wrong. My numbers were through the roof. I delivered. But one day somebody came in and decided to cut our whole division. That's life. It sucks. Sometimes it's hard. Sometimes you got to pick yourself up off the ground. And so I do think that sometimes as a society, we're just too soft on everybody because life is hard and you better learn it at a young age because it doesn't get any easier as you get older. And so how does it pertain to this Michael Jordan documentary? Well, you know exactly how it pertains. We saw it in this documentary, how tough he was on his teammates. He wasn't always nice. He wasn't always friendly. He pushed them. He got under their skin. He swore at them. He called them names that you wouldn't like being called yourself. But it was at the sake of greatness. It was at the sake of excellence. It was at the sake of winning and competing at the highest level. And it was at the sake of bringing everybody else to his level. And so that was my biggest takeaway from watching this documentary is the greatest line that I thought that he had in the documentary, and there was a couple, is one, he said, man, sometimes I had to pull some people that I don't think were ready to be pulled. I had to take them to a place that they couldn't get themselves. And yeah, was I mean? Did I say some swear words? Did I push them in a way that I shouldn't have? Did I punch Steve Kerr that one time? Yeah, but that's what we needed to do to get everybody on that level. And so I give MJ so much credit. I give him credit. I think it was good for all of us to see that it's okay to get yelled at sometimes, that it's okay to be pushed sometimes, because there was two things about MJ that you couldn't help but not respect when it came to Sunday night's documentary. And the first one is, as he said, he would never make anybody do something that he had not already done himself. So yes, he's going to push you. Yes, he is going to make you uncomfortable. Yes, he is going to get in your head and take you to a place that you've never been, but it's only because that is where he is and nobody outworks him. I thought it was incredible watching the scenes from the Space Jam shoot where he's literally working out, going to shoot a movie all day, then playing pickup with the best basketball players in the world. I thought that was an incredible scene and an incredible story. So one, Michael Jordan never made players do something that he had not already done himself. The other thing that I love about this competitiveness and this excellence, and it's something that translates to even today, is that he's completely unapologetic about that. And that's one of the biggest takeaways that I have seen from this documentary that I absolutely love, which is that even now, even 15, 20, 25 years after all this happened, right? It'd be so easy for him to kind of downplay it of, oh, it really wasn't that bad and I wasn't that mean. And, for him to remember it differently than it really happened, for him to just pretend like, oh, it really wasn't that bad. But he doesn't do that. I respect the hell out of him. I respect the hell that he says, like, dude, I had to punch Steve Kerr in the face to see how tough he was. Scott Burrell, I had to get on his butt every single day because I knew at some point I was going to need him. Well, guess what? Scott Burrell went for 24 in a game-clinching playoff series. By the way, how about the part where he's playing against B.J. Armstrong late in the 98 playoffs, and he said, listen, BJ got under my skin, so I had to go out and kill him. And that's what I love about MJ, and that's what I love about this documentary, is that, one, this competitive drive. One, I think Sunday night shows were so great from that perspective. They showed society it is okay. It's okay to get yelled at. It's okay to get pushed. It's okay to be uncomfortable because that is the price you pay. But I also love that Michael Jordan refuses to pretend that it didn't happen, or refuses to soften his stance. 25 years later, he's still mad at B.J. Armstrong, that B.J. Armstrong hit that game winner and strutted in front of the bench. He's still mad at Scott Burrell because he doesn't think Scott Burrell brings it every single night. He's still mad at that LaBradford Smith dude, who we'll get into in a minute, because he dropped 37 on him one time. And so that is what I love about Michael Jordan, and that is what I love about this documentary, is his fearlessness, his level of excellence every single day, and the fact that he refuses to let anybody else, he refuses to let anybody else go down a level. He brings them up to his.